Hello everyone, Scomicmaker here, swinging in with my web shooters. Ooh, can you guess which movie I saw recently? I wonder. Anyway, with that, let's get into the video. Gosh, what can I say about the newest Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse, that has not been said already? Well, I guess I can start with, in a sea of Spider-Man movies, to me, this was the big fish, and probably my favorite movie of last year. But let's break it down into why I liked it. Now, I'm no movie critic, but as a casual viewer and lover of Spider-Man, I liked it. Like, I really liked it. It was just so likable. Gosh, probably lovable. The characters were charming and funny, and I was genuinely excited and entertained by almost every interaction in this film, especially when it came to Miles. Sometimes I don't care for stories where the characters have to hide a secret, especially with those people that they care about. I know that is like one of the major bits for a superhero, but I'm the kind of person who screams at the screen when characters get into situations that can easily be fixed, like, come on, just talk to them. You could just, I'm looking at you, every shoujo anime ever. Don't think I don't see the error of your doki heartbeat ways. I'm watching you. But anyway, despite this, I think the characters are just so dang lovable, and the story is so enjoyable that I wasn't like rolling my eyes during these scenes, but actually like gripped with their plight. But my favorite thing about the movie, my god, the visuals. Now, I didn't see this in 3D, which I don't really care for, and I didn't see it with all that other 4D, super special, pew pew pew, mumbo jumbo movie crap. I just saw this movie plain and simple, like a normie, and I had to say, visually, I was blown away. This movie is just so pretty to look at. It's a little jarring at first, but you quickly get used to it. And despite the fact that superhero movies seem to be getting darker and darker over the years, this was like a blast of color that I've been searching for in a comic book movie. For the first time ever, watching a comic book movie literally made me feel like I was reading a moving comic book. Like, it was like that Harry Potter photo voodoo, you know? Like, with the picture, but the moving and the wow, and are you seeing this wizard stuff? I think some of my favorite details in this movie were just the little comic blips you would see every now and again. So this time, no spoilers because you need to see this movie, but there's like a little scene, as an example, where Miles is punching this punching bag, and as his fist hits the punching bag, there are these little like bap, you know, lines coming off the bag where his fist makes contact. You know what I'm talking about? Like, oh, go on, here we go. Little tip tap, bip bap lines, just like that. Boop bop. Little details like that I was just loving. Also, you will live for scenes with Miles and Peter Parker. They just play so well off of each other, and the actors in this film did such an amazing job. Just so beautiful. Kiss them. Love them. But yeah, it's so good. You need to go see this movie, especially if you're a comic book fan or if you even like Spider-Man. It's totally worth your time. But let's get into the art portion of this. This drawing was the first time trying out the Copic airbrushing system. Forever ago, a good friend of mine gave me an old kit of hers, and it ended up being a good opportunity to use it. I knew when I saw Spider-Man that I would want to make some fan art, but after seeing it, I knew I wanted some kind of graffiti involved. I drew so many thumbnails though, and I realized that graffiti is just not in the cards for me. Or at least I need to practice. But first I tried using the air can by itself, and that was a fail. You need a hose to make this thing work properly with the adapter, or you will end up getting ice on your Copics. Don't do it. Bad news, guys. So luckily the same friend that gave me the little set also had an air compressor that she let me borrow. Now, if I wasn't going to be able to spray paint a cool graffiti background, then by God, just maybe I could spray paint it on, and it was kind of a fail at first. As far as the spraying goes, it's alright. I had to do a lot of layering to get any rich color unless I was working with a really dark color, but was I able to achieve the spray paint look I wanted? Not necessarily. I ended up having to go back into the splotches with Copics and add spray paint drips and larger splotches myself. And the reason you're kind of seeing two of the same drawing here is I originally was sketching it out, trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this drawing, and I liked the pose, and so when I realized I wanted to keep this pose but also spray paint, I was really worried that I was going to end up ruining the drawing after spray painting, because I wanted to spray paint kind of around Spider-Man. So I ended up using the sketch as kind of reference and cut him out, you can kind of see here, and kind of retraced the silhouette of my drawing, used the cut version for while I was airbrushing, and then finished up the drawing after. The spray effect from the Copics helped a little, but it obviously isn't for that effect, but I tried it anyway. Would I recommend this air can? Yes and no. From what I used for this image, I got my desired effect in the end, and I have seen some really cool gradient effects from other YouTube videos, but if I had my marker cap off, air spraying it for too long, I always worried about my precious Copic babies. Overall, I had fun trying to figure out this image and was super excited to make art for such an amazing movie. As some of you know, I am a big Spider-Man fan, and after Into the Spider-Verse, I can easily say that this is my favorite Spider-Man movie. But what do you guys think? Have you seen Into the Spider-Verse? If so, what was something you liked about it? Leave a comment, and if you are new here, consider subscribing. I post videos once a week. Well, that's it for me. Time for me to use my 6 Spidey skills I just learned and swoopity swoosh swoop away with my flippity bip bap spiderweb shooters. Bye guys.